Welcome to On the Attack with Mack, a podcast meant to inspire, motivate, and even educate you to go out there and win in life. I'm your host, Cornell Mack, and your boy is geeked up because we just finished the Win in Life weekend, is what it turned into. It was a fun experience spending this entire weekend with a bunch of cool people. A whole lot of people came from a lot of different places, as well as some local folks who were here as well, enjoying the festivities, which started on Thursday, ended on a Sunday. We're going to tell you all about that tonight. Well, I'm going to tell you all about that tonight. I got some special shout outs to some special people that I got to meet in person for the first time, as well as giving you some details on what actually happened during the event, who won the games, and all of that good stuff. So I hope you're ready for a good show because I have an announcement to make at the end of the show about next year. So it's going to be a fun show tonight, but you know how we start each and every week, and that is with the live viewer shout outs, followed by the motivational minute, the word of the week, the winner of the week, and last but certainly not least, the word of the week. So comment down below, let me know where you are checking in from. If you are watching on YouTube or Facebook, you got to comment so that I know that you're here. If you are watching on Instagram, shout out to you. I will see you guys as you pop in here. It was a wonderful, wonderful weekend. So many good people, some great weather on the actual day of the event. And we made a lot of new connections, met some old friends, and it was fun. But over the weekend, let's get to these live viewer shout outs. Your boy is a little bit flustered. I've been excited to talk all day about the weekend's events, and so it's going to be a fun show. I even have some notes for you, man. So it's going to be fun. But you know, we got to get to these live viewer shout outs. Like I said, if you are watching on YouTube or Facebook, comment down below. If you're watching on Instagram, let me know how was your weekend, because I know mine was absolutely fantastic. And to beat a dead horse and be redundant, I'm going to say it again. I'm excited to tell you all about this weekend's events. But let's get to these live viewer shout outs over here on Instagram. They got in here quick. Also, if you enjoy the show, do me a favor, man. Hit that like button, man. We got a lot of people watch the show each and every week, but we need more likes, more engagement, more comments. That way the show will get pushed out on different platforms to make the audience bigger. Our lawn care community is a beautiful community, and the more people that we can get together, whether it's in live events or a comment section, or if they just see it in the future, the better it's going to be, so that we can all get to our promised land faster. A little bit of more information always helps people. But over here on Instagram, we got Good Morning Lawns, Thompson Lawn Care, 513, Cat's Paw LLC, Rooted Lawn and Landscape, Lignum Lawns, CR Lawns, Wisconsin, These Lawn Services, I already said Thompson, Lady G 451, Two Scots Inc. is in the building, Henderson Lawn Care. I got to meet them this week, and they came to the meetup. What's going on with you? Warranty XX Denied is in the building. It looks like my man Mario. So what's going on with you, Mario? Martin's Lawn and Landscape is in the building. I met that young man before. He's like 24 years old. Absolutely out here killing it. Carol Dominic 9 Gmail is in the building. What's going on with you? We got Mack Landscaping. That's MAC. Don't be confused with the me, MACK. Lone Wolf Landscaping. What's going on with you? We got DK Lawn Services in the building, JR Lawn Social in the building, MRP Lawn Care in the building, Trap Bando 7258 is in the building. What is going on with you? And then over here on the YouTube and Instagram, the people who have commented, my man Lamar's Lawn Care. That's Gregory from Lamar's Lawn Care. What's going on with you? I had the privilege of meeting him this weekend. Got to spend a whole lot of time with my man Spence Crisco, a channel member. Lamar is a channel member. But got a chance to spend a lot of time with Spence Lawn Care this weekend. Dominic Wynn, what's going on with you? He's a Win in Life team group member. So is my man Spencer's Lawn Care. We got Lone Wolf Landscaping over here. David Penn from Penn Lawns. I got to meet him for the first time over here. Jeremiah Maker, what's going on with you? He's a channel member. Shout out to you, all the channel members. H&H Lawn in the building. They were at the meetup, I believe. What's going on with you? Harold Wilson Jr. will be on the show this Wednesday for Winning Life Wednesday. So make sure that you check that show out this Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern on all the platforms. YouTube is the best experience for you, though. We got Mr. Hello World Action Jackson in the building, the hustler of all hustlers. What's going on? Harrison Property Management 2937. That's the infamous Pookie. Get well soon, brother. Get well soon. Winter Hill 20 is in the building. Uh, let's see. Anybody else? All right, that seems to be it. But yeah, we're gonna get into all of the good stuff today about the Win in Life meetup that happened over the weekend. Man, it turned into a spectacular weekend. I cannot wait to tell you about it. Seeds Landscape and the LBCOG is in the building. We got DH, Mr. Captain's Lawn Service 213 in the building. Christopher's Remodeling is in the building. It's going to be a fun show tonight. This is great. You guys are in here quickly and real active in the doggone comment section. That's what we like to see. But we only got one like. So what's going on, man? You watching the show live? Let's get to it, man. We need some engagement here. I appreciate all the comments. But listen, this week's motivational minute is over the weekend at the Winning Life meetup. I realized something, and it is that we were all given a gift. I heard that Denzel Washington talking about this. He said, you were given a gift and you didn't earn it. It was given to you, and it is yours to share with the world. And it made me think about this meetup, man. We got so many people who have been given the gift of entrepreneurship, given the gift of a green thumb, given the gift of being able to make those lines straight, given the gift of being able to put those paver patios down level, or getting up on a ladder to clean out those gutters or clean those roofs, or pressure washing those driveways. You have been given a gift, and it wasn't given to you for you to hold on to it. It was for you to share. I talked about being generous the last couple weeks, and this is the time to be generous. The spring rush is here. My phone is lighting up. I'm sure your phone is lighting up, and it is time to put your gifts to good use. And the Bible says your gift will make room for you. And so go out there and use the gifts that God has given you. You have opportunity of a lifetime right now, going into 2026, when all of the spring cleanups are happening right now, aerations, reseeds, overseeds, shrub trimmings, first lawn mows, trees that fell over getting cleaned up. This is the time for you to use the gift that you have to go out there and make some money beautifying other people's yards. It is a co-symbiotic relationship. I think that's how it goes. You do phenomenal, great work, and then they pay you well for the gifts that you are bestowing upon their property, which then enables you to go out and be a blessing and a gift to the people that you love and the people who are under your stewardship. So get out there and use the gifts, because it is time to light up them grass cart and go-karts and get out there and go kick ass for your family, for your future, for the world, and most importantly, for God. Let's go. It's Monday. It's time to get out there and get to it. Use those gifts so that you can make money and so that you can bless the other people with your skills. Let's go. This week's winner of the week, I think it goes without saying, every person that came to the Winning Life meetup over the weekend. I got so much good feedback from the people who attended, the people who drove hundreds of miles. Some people came from another country, for goodness sake, and they came there to fellowship, to get around other people who are going in the same direction, playing in the same game, and going out there to get information so that they can take it back to their own business and go out there and win in life. They got to see setups. They got to try equipment. They got to talk to people who are maybe a little further ahead of them in their business. And the people who are a little further ahead got to reach back, put that ladder down so other people could come up and make it happen. It was so dope. We had great games. We had great pizza, which could have been delivered a little more on time, but That's my fault. That's something I got to learn from. But we had good food. We had drinks. We had people playing cornhole. We had people playing rock, paper, scissors. We had people talking to one another, trying mowers out, looking at different trailer setups. All types of cool things happen right there. And I know a lot of relationships were made. So this week's winner of the week goes without saying. It is all the people who attended, had any part in the success of this event and all of the things that are going to happen in the future because the event grew this year. From last year, we had more signups. On the day of the event, we had more attendees because there's always a little bit of attrition. So we had more attendees than we had last year. We had more signups than we had last year. We had more setups than we did last year. We got YouTube videos that are coming out from all types of different people. And we got a lot of stuff that is coming to you here in the future because of the community that showed up. They showed out, they poured into one another, and they weren't just trying to drink from someone's cup. They were actually filling up other people's cup. And that is what it's all about. It's a winning life family. We ain't just winning life individuals. We are out here to help one another go out there and win in life. Why? Because you deserve it. Because God built you to go out there and win in your life. It is why you won the lottery, 1 in 4 trillion chance to be here. It's so that you could go out there and win in life. And to win in life, sometimes you're going to have to hold on to other people's beliefs. You're going to have to hold on to other people's expertise. You're going to have other people to push you in the right direction because maybe you don't have the knowledge yet. Maybe you don't have the experiences yet, but they do. And so, what happens when someone is out there and they got a little bit of knowledge and they know that you're pushing your car in the direction of your dreams? They stop, they pull over, and they will help you push it too. And that's what this winning life family is all about. So, congratulations to everybody who came to the event, to all the relationships that were created. Thank you to the people and businesses that sponsored it, both locally and other people who sponsored it. But man, shout out to everybody that came to the event. I can't wait to see you again next year. We're going to tell you all about the event today on this show, but I can't wait to see you next year and make sure you stick around because at the end of today's show, we're going to make an announcement about 2027. But thank you to all of the people. Give yourselves a round of applause if you were in attendance. And if you weren't in attendance, make sure you hit that Eventbrite link so you can go sign up and follow the channel, whatever platform you're watching on or listening on. You can give us a 5-star review. We would love to have it, and I would read it, but read it on the actual show. But yeah, if you weren't there this year, we will be doing this every year moving forward. So make sure you follow the channel so you can stay updated, informed, and be a part of this winning life family and community that we're growing. But yeah, that's it for the winner of the week. I need a sip of water quickly, and then we're going to get to Tate's word of the week. Magnamatic is in the building. Shout out to my man Garrett Bauer and Magnamatic. We'll be talking about that here in just a second. But every week, my man Marcus Tate, the LBC OG, one of my brothers in the lawn care community, he sends me and many other people a word of the week, and I like to share it with you so that it can give you a little bit of power going into the rest of your week. And one more sip of water. It's a live show. All right. Your boy's tired. As you can see, I'm excited. I am talking fast. Need to take a breath. Quick, deep breath, man, because man, that was a bit much. All right. This week's word of the week, rise and shine. Word of the week is edify. Edify is defined as to instruct or uplift or improve someone, particularly in a moral or spiritual sense. Edify is a building word. Life is a journey of edifying. Ain't that the truth? We build our lives, families, career, and our business. Having the opportunity to build anything is a blessing. It is humbling to look back and see what you have accomplished. So let's sharpen our tools so that we can build with efficiency. Therefore, let us pursue the things which make for peace and things which one may edify another. From Romans 14:19 in the New King James Version of the Bible. Have a great week. Marcus Tate. Edify. To instruct, uplift, or improve someone, particularly in moral or spiritual sense. That is what happened at the Winning Life Meetup, man. People were being edified left and right. They were learning, they were growing, they were creating relationships, they were giving each other words of encouragement, uplifting one another because the damn grass cutting go-karts are about to get started. All of the projects are about to get a little more comfortable as we warm up here, especially up here in the Northeast. And you need to edify yourself. All right. We a lot of times go out and edify others, but man, you have created something. So uplift your own morale because you created something and it is going now. Let's go. Edify yourself. I love that, man. That is dope. Shout out to my man Marcus Tay, always living, giving an edifying word to our lawn care community. Shout out to my man Marcus Tay. All right, let me get back in here and see we can do some more live viewer shout outs before we get into the Win in Life meetup. Let me know in the comment section if you were at the meetup, what did you think of the meetup? Let me know down in the comment section. Is there anything I can improve upon? All right, we're going to be doing some new things here in the future, but boy, was it just an amazing time to be around people throughout this entire weekend starting on Thursday. I'm about to give you the whole rundown, but before we do that, let's do some more live viewer shout outs because the people who watch the show each week, whether they pop in and stick around for a few minutes or they sit and watch the entire show or they watch it later on, I like to make sure that we are giving those people some glory because it is hard to talk here if you're talking to no one. But I know I got some people who watch, like Alex Flores 619, my man Yenscape Landscaping Services. This is his first season, so we're going to shout him out. Magnematic, my man Garrett Bowers in the building. Seeds Landscaping, the LBCOG is in the building. Collect with Layla Leah is in the building. Shang's Landscaping is in the building. Will Zhang is in the building. Carol Dominic 9 Gmail is in the building. Let's see if we got any more people over here on the YouTubes. Mentioned Dominique. When we got my man Jonathan Rodriguez, Mr. Clean Cut is in the building. Let's see what else. Looks like it's it, but we got a lot of people watching. I appreciate it. You could comment down below, give it some likes. We got some people watching. We don't have enough likes, so get those up so we can get out to more people. But let me pull up my little. There's so much stuff that happened. We're gonna go over it, but the meetup happened March 21st, 2026. It ended up turning into an entire weekend. All right. So I'm going to let you know kind of what happened Thursday, then Friday, then Saturday, and then I'll let you know how Sunday went. And I'm going to make some shout outs to some people that stood out because they were actually there, whether it was because they won a game or because they traveled a long distance or because I just got to spend a whole lot of time with them. If you have anything that happened for you and you were actually at the meetup, man, comment down below. What was your favorite thing that you got to do over the weekend? Because, like I said, it turned into a pretty eventful weekend starting on Thursday. And the reason for that is, but before we do that, let me thank the sponsors. We had some local sponsors that came through to provide food and give prize giveaways and things like that. So first, let me start out by thanking my girl Jamie. She is the owner of J.A. Rutter, and J.A. Rutter is our landscape support, the landscape supply place I use, and got a great relationship with the owner. Her name is Jamie. It's a family-owned business. They do such phenomenal work. We get all of our mulch there. We dump all our trees and things like that up there, and she came through to help be a food sponsor. So she provided all the food, and that was really big because I've been basically financing these things for the last 4 years by myself on my own dime because I want to give back to the community that has given so much to me, and I want to see other people go out here and win in life doing the same thing because you can do it if I can do it. It ain't that hard, man, but sometimes you need some people or you need an event that will spark your interest so that you can go out and see that regular people are doing this shit every day. And when you got some good food and it's provided by a nice sponsor like J.A. Rudder, and that's gonna make some people happy while they're there at least. All right. So we thank you to J.A. Rudder. Next we got my man Joe with Penn Hills Rental. I talk about them all the time. It's my dealer. They supply my Toro mowers. They got other things too, but they have Echo and Steel. So they gave us a PB 9010 backpack blower, which was the game prize for the cornhole challenge. I'll explain that later. He donated an SRM 225 string trimmer, a PB 2520 handheld blower, and then I sponsored a Toro Vortex push mower because that's how everyone started. And those string trimmer and handheld blower, along with the push mower, was the prize for the rock paper scissor showdown champion. And so, shout out to Joe and Jamie for being such great hosts so that we could be able to put this place on. And last but certainly not least, I want to thank my church, Grace Life Church here in Pittsburgh, for letting us host the event in our conference, our restaurant area, and in our big old parking lot. A lot of people were able to come there. We had indoor area for people to be able to eat, get out of the weather, which was nice anyway. Bathrooms and everything inside, food, coloring contest going on in there, prizes and all of that, registration table, all of that was inside. And then we had everyone with their setups outside, along with a magmatic demo area, so you could demo the blade sharpener and all of that. And my man Rick with Big Buckeye, who's doing Aflac insurance, so that we could stay insured during this season, man. If you get hurt or miss work, it don't hurt to miss work. That's what Yogi Berra used to say. But they came through, and that was awesome to have those sponsors, Garrett and Magnamatic, being the sponsor as well, coming through with the Magnamatic blade sharpener and putting on just a fire demonstration, giving us the I'll talk about that here in a second as we go through the actual thing. But thank you to the sponsors who helped us be able to put on a good event. Also, we want to thank my brother with the lemon lineup who came through with the fire lemonades. We got nothing but rave reviews from everyone that had a lemonade. If you're watching right now and you were at the meetup and you had a lemon lineup lemonade, let me know what your thoughts are, and be honest, man. We can't get anywhere if we're not being authentic. I personally love the lemonade. I am a little biased because it is my younger brother, but nevertheless, lemonade is lemonade. And they got garnishes like candy and all of that. They did a hell of a job keeping people hydrated and hyper with the sugar. All right. Let's go. That was fire. But yeah, so that was it. That was our sponsors, our drink people. We got some great pizza from Papa Rocks, but we're gonna be moving on from that, moving on into the future. But that was our sponsors and all of that. So it was dope. We had I want to it was like 127 people who registered. I think the day of the event we had 80 to 90 people who came through the event and either brought a trailer, just came through to talk, came through to have some fun, eat some pizza, have some lemonade, and have a good time playing the games. But that was basically how our sponsors. Now let's get to the actual week. All right. My man Naylor Taliaferro hit me up a few months ago when I was planning everything, and I was gonna have the event on either March 14th or March 21st. So Naylor hits me up and he's like, "Yo, when is your event?" And I was like, "It's gonna be on the 14th or the 21st." He says, "Well, I have a group. It's called the Inner Circle, whatever. They meet up and they wanted to do a shop tour or whatever." And he was like, "I would love it if we could come, do a shop tour at your shop, and then, you know, come to the event, hang out and all of that." And I was like, "Yeah, all right, bet. If the 21st works for you, I ain't have anything set in stone anyway. We'll do it on the 21st. That way, they can start getting their plans because some people flew in and everything who were part of that." So he came in. They actually got here on Thursday. Now, the Winter Life meetup turned into basically a weekend thing. It was like Friday meet and greet, then Saturday event, and then Sunday, the people who stayed and wanted to come to church went to church. And then yeah, and so I've been saying that for a minute. That was the basic thing. Naylor and the group of people that came with him, including my man Payjack and my man Eric Triplet. Sheesh, hold on. Whoa. Oh, wow, my goodness gracious. Eric Triplet, he came, and then the guys from Naylor's Inner Circle group. So Naylor, he's DMing me. He texts me. He's like, "Hey, just wanted to let you know we're gonna have a dinner. Can you recommend a steak place?" So I gave him a steak place. It didn't work out with that place, so he ended up booking a place called Morton's the Steakhouse. Now, about 3 weeks ago, he texted me. He was like, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know, I wanted to invite you and your wife out to dinner for being host and hosting us here in Pittsburgh." And I was like, "All right, bet, right?" But we have a high school daughter, and she is in two sports right now, running track for two different teams, and she plays flag football. I talk about this all the time. So she had mandatory meetings that had a parent had to be at. So my wife ain't want to just hang out with a whole bunch of dudes. I'm gonna be real with you. So she went to those meetings, and then me, Naylor, Payjack, Triplet, his inner circle people, we all went to Morton's the Steakhouse. It was fire. Naylor's like, "Yo, we're getting picked up at 6 p.m. They stayed at this hotel called the Hampton Inn. We're getting picked up at 6 p.m. I just wanted to let you know." I was like, "All right, cool." I'm thinking I'm a meet. I didn't know what he meant by being picked up. I thought he meant like they're getting an Uber. So I was like, "All right," thinking I'll drive my truck. I'll go down to Morton's. I'll meet them down there. He's like, "No, I just wanted to let you." He texted me again. "I just wanted to let you know we're getting picked up." I'm like, "Getting picked up?" He's like, "Yeah, I got a driver." I was like, "Oh, okay." The hotel's 5 minutes from my house. I'm like, "Bet." So all I gotta do is drive to the hotel. So I go over there. We get picked up in this shuttle bus that had lights in it, and it was nice. Drive us down. We go to the steakhouse. The food was fire. We're all having a great. This is networking. Please, if you take anything away from tonight's show, all right, we gotta start with the end in mind. The importance of being a part of a community and networking with other people in your industry, both big companies and small companies. The networking, I don't care any live event I've ever been to. Sitting and listening to the speeches is cool, but it is the restaurant conversations that you have. It is the bar conversations that you have. It is the lunch conversation you have the day of the event. Trying the new equipment when you're out there. That stuff has been so much more valuable to me than the people actually being on the stages. And that's not to be disrespectful to any speaker that I've ever heard. They've all been great for the most part. But I've gotten so much more value from the conversations and the relationships created at the live events and the outside things other than the main event. Now, the Winning Life meetup's a little bit different because it's like setups and everything. People are just out there talking. It's like a glimmer of an Equip Expo type of feel when it comes to that type of stuff. But that is the important. I just want you to, if you get anything else from it, I'm speaking about the importance of networking and having and being a part of a community. I don't care whose community it is, as long as it's positive. If it's in your industry, awesome. But that's really what the Winning Life Meetup is about, is creating that community with one another so that we have people to lean on in this lonely entrepreneurship atmosphere and world that we live in. All right, might feel like there's a lot of people doing it, but there really ain't. You're different and you're set apart because you are doing something most people won't do. But when there's a live event, everyone that's there is either doing or trying to do. And that is a powerful thing to be a part of that. And so again, for the third time, I do this a lot because I talk a lot. You know what I mean? It is what it is. We family. Right? We family. If you feel like we're family, comment family in the comment section if you watching live right now. But we family. Winning Life family. All right. Relationships, community, networking is paramount. And that's what this was about. So at the dinner, we're networking, we're laughing, we're talking about things. We're eating food, people having some libations, loosening up, talking to one another about the future, about what's going on now, about changes that are going to happen and things and goals that they have. And you know what happens to the people? They're either getting amped up or they're helping to amp up the energy, and that's what it's all about. And that's what happens when you get around a whole bunch of people that feel the same way. That's why they start jumping. When you dancing in church, you get the vibe, and then you see that everybody's jumping or everybody's clapping, or you go to a sporting event and the team scores a touchdown, and in unison, everyone who loves that team, they're rah-rah. And that's what happens at networking events. And that's what was happening. All right. So we go down Thursday night, Morton's Steakhouse, fire. If you come to Pittsburgh, I'm gonna have to recommend it. I'm from Pittsburgh. I was never there before. Naylor put me on something new in my own city. All right. Crazy. I'm taking my wife there now. They got fire steak, cream, corn, all gratin potatoes. I ain't a seafood guy. They had seafood. These dudes was eating lobster and shit. I'm telling you, it was sick. After that, I know what it's like. If you go to a live event, especially if you come and you stay in a hotel and you're not from the area, you go to the event, happens, it's cool. Whether it's a meet and greet 7 to 9, whether it's the event 8 to 5, then it's over. You're not from there. You don't know what to do. When I go places and I'm with my wife, she finds stuff for us to do. When I go places and I'm by myself, or I'm with, like, I go with the pod road dudes. If it's over, it's over. Now what? I'm just sitting in the hotel. It's 9 o'clock. I'm wide awake. Your boy be up till 3 o'clock in the morning. I ain't want people to feel like that when they come to my city. So the dudes who's there, they there early. The event's really just Saturday. But I invited some people. Hey, if you heard this, come on out to Permani Brothers, and we gonna have us a good time that night on Friday, then Saturday. But Thursday, these dudes is here. They don't got nothing to do. So I said, hey, y'all want to go bowling or something? Hell, let's go bowling. They said, all right, cool. So I hit this place up called Locate Lanes. Okay. Locate Lanes is fire. It took me a minute to realize that pins are on strings. It's regular big bowling balls, regular big pins, but they're on strings. There was a flood here. We had a flood. It must have messed up the thing. They did some rearranging. They pivoted. Why? Because they're entrepreneurs just like us. They just run in a bowling business, and we run lawn care businesses or whatever business you might run, depending on who you are and what you do, right? But they got bowling pins on strings. It took me a minute before I realized that. But I rented the bowling lanes out from 9 to 11, 2 hours. It's like 10 of us gonna go. I think it ended up being like 8 of us. We go down there out of the 12 people that was there. We go down there. We're bowling. The lady says, we close at 10. I said, then why did it let me reserve it from 9 to 11 if y'all close at 10? She said, I ain't tripping. Y'all can stay till 11. And then the manager lady comes over. She said, hey, we're watching sports in the bar. Y'all can stay till how long you think it's gonna take you? I said, midnight? They was like, bet. We bowled till midnight. So here's how it went. I think we ended up getting through with the amount of people that were there. We might have got through, I think, 4 games, right? Here's who was there. My man Eric Triplett, my man John Pajak, my man John Grant, my man Augustine from Washington, the state of Washington. Cuz came from the state of Washington. That's cross country. That's 3,000 miles or 2,500 and something miles. That's airplane. All right. He flew on an airplane, got to Pittsburgh. Augustine. Alan Lemaire, he just broke his arm 3 weeks ago. He was there. He didn't bowl. Myself, and then there was my man Ryan Allen, who was in the league. So we get there. Ryan introduced me to the lady. Her name is Miss Deb. Miss Deb is like, hey, we gonna be here. Y'all can stay till 12. I said, all right, bet. So we get down there. The first 2 games I bowled a 141. I won the first 2 games. Then my man Eric Triplett. Eric Triplett is a phenomenal dude, man. I love this dude. He's awesome. He's a fun time. So he says, hey, why don't we put some money on the line? And I don't really bet. The only thing I've ever bet on is basketball. I mean, I've bet a couple times in casinos, but I'm not really a gambler because if I can't control it, like basketball, football, something like that, if I can't can have any way to control my destiny, I don't really like it. And gambling seems like it's out of your control. It's just chance, but not bowling. So Eric's like, hey, let's put some money on the line. I want to feel alive. It's kind of how I said, all right, bet. I really don't really bet, but he's like, let's bet. I said, all right, how much? I said $100. He said, all right, cool. When I tell you, when I tell you, Eric Triplett basically turned into Pete Weber. Pete Weber is You don't know who do you think I am? Who do you think you are? I am. That bowling dude that did that, if you've ever seen the meme, that's who Pete Weber is. And Eric Triplett turned into damn Pete Weber. This boy. He said, I'm gonna beat 141. I think the first game that we bet the $100, he bowled like a 168 or something like that. I was like, damn. So he waxed me. So then the next game, I'm like double or nothing, man. I gotta try to win my money back, right? We put another 100 down. And then there's this other dude who I forgot. I forgot. And the only reason I forgot is because I thought of him first. But because we gave him a nickname, I didn't add him to it. And it's my man, Brian Bryan. Brian Bryan, if you're in here, man, we love you. He got his own nickname because he was around. He's been around the whole entire weekend. I think his business is called Rebel Lawns. But Brian Bryan, he was out there. He was kicking ass and taking names too. And then we put the second 100 down, and Eric Triplett was like, all right, if I win this, though, I want to give 50% of my proceeds to Brian Bryan because we was the only ones that was. Eric just added Brian Bryan in because he was bowling so well. And so Eric was like, if I beat Mack, because that was the bet, was just me and Trip. He was like, but if I beat Mack, I want to give you 50% because how well you're bowling. Brian didn't want to take it, but Eric was like, we ain't taking no for an answer. I insist you're gonna take this. That next game, Eric Triplett had a spare on every single frame except for one, I think. And he bowled like a 188. I felt like Will when he got pool sharked and Uncle Phil had to break out Lucille. I think Eric Triplett set me up. And he got me good too. And I don't really like to admit defeat, but man, Eric Triplett kicked my behind. then he shared 50% of his proceeds with Brian Bryan. But that was Thursday night, man. Great dinner with my man Naylor, his inner circle and his inner circle coaches, and then bowling and losing some money to my homeboy. E Triplet. He got me good. But that was Friday night. I mean, that was Thursday night. And then on Friday, it just kind of happened. So on Friday, I'm like, some people are gonna come in here early. They and they're gonna stay at hotels, and people did that. So they needed to have something to do on Friday night because the event ain't till 1 o'clock on Saturday. So Naylor wanted to have his group come over to my shop to see my shop, tour my shop. And I ain't gonna lie, I was like, when they got there, I'm like, here's the shop. I mean, there's not really much to tour. We have a parking lot with a bunch of trucks in it that are owned by myself, Piper, Talon, Tommy, and one of Tommy's boys, trailers that are owned by all of us. A couple buildings, but then inside my shop, I mean, if you've watched my YouTube channel, you've seen I've done a couple shop tours. I'm about to do an updated one because I got some new equipment. But they came up. I'm like, well, here's the shop. There ain't really anything to tour. It's just kind of standing around there looking at the equipment, seeing how me and Piper have our side situated and everything. And it was dope. I cooked some hamburgers on the grill. This was on Friday afternoon from like 3 to like 6. Cooked some hamburgers on the grill. We had some local libations, some local stout beers, and icy light mango. People could try some native Pittsburgh type beer, and hot dogs and fellowship and networking. And it was just more of creating that relationship from 3 to 6. That was dope. After that, we had a meet and greet at Permane Brothers. Now, I had been saying, hey, we're gonna do this at Buffalo Wild Wings, and then I thought to myself, like, we had a dude come from Washington, the state of Washington. We had someone in from California, Boston, Massachusetts, Virginia, Chicago, people from all over the country. Well, guess what? Buffalo Wild Wings is everywhere. I went to Nashville. I had Buffalo Wild Wings, my homeboy Cowboy Crawley, and my man Cam with Stripe City Cam. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings there. When I went to Vegas, Me and my son, we went to Buffalo Wild Wings there. You know what wasn't in either one of those places? Permane Brothers. You know why? Because it's a Pittsburgh place. Now we do have a couple Permane Brothers in Ohio and one or two down in Florida, maybe one in the airport or something now and then. But for the most part, they're all here in Pittsburgh, and they're famous for their almost famous sandwiches, which is some sort of protein source, some coleslaw, and then fries on the sandwich in between bread. They wrap it up in a piece of paper, cut it in half. And now the history of that is the truckers it was a truck stop. The truckers used to come to the place, they get their sandwich, and if it was all separate, they couldn't. You're driving, you can't really be spooning or forking some coleslaw, and you don't want to be reaching for fries while you're holding your sandwich in one hand. You got to have a hand on the steering wheel. So they put all of the stuff together so that you could have your fries, your coleslaw, and your meat all in your hand. That sounded crazy, but and that way you could eat while you drive. And so that's the story behind it. But it's a Pittsburgh thing, and so we had a meet and greet there here in Pittsburgh, which was awesome. Which was awesome. And so we people got permani sandwiches, some people got pizza, but there was about 25 people who came to the meet and greet, and we were there for a couple hours. Actually, it was from 7:30 to 9:30. But here's the deal. When I have an event or I go to an event, you know where your boy is at? With the people who's at the event. I'm out there. I got ADHD. I stay up all night anyway. So if we gonna be there, I'm there. And I'm gonna be up in the morning, maybe slightly a little bit late to whatever we're actually going to. But I'm there with the people until because that's what you came here for, right? So we ended up staying at Permane Brothers from 7 until it closed at 12 because this was on a Friday night. So it's a bar restaurant. Well, it's more of a restaurant than it is a bar. So they closed at midnight, and we were there. My man Steve O was there. Garrett Bauer from Magnamatic, he was there. Damn, I've been talking for a minute and we just got started. Looks like we're gonna be going a little bit longer tonight. What do you think about that? But we were there till about 12, talking about everything. I mean, not just business, man. We talking about life. Everything can't be business, right? Y'all don't want to come to the swimming pool and all when we talking about, how much net profit did you make this year? And what systems did you create? And how many SOPs do you have? It's like, nah, bruh. My daughter's playing flag football. She threw touchdown passes and she scored touchdowns and this. And my 6-year-old's doing this and my son's doing that. And me and my wife, we enjoy doing this. And what was your vacation like? What, oh, you got a new dog? What? That's the type of stuff when you have a relationship. I don't want to do that with a customer when I'm trying to sell a job. But when we at a live event, that's what that's about. So we were there till 12 doing that. My man Cedric got there a little bit late. He came in. My man Big Buckeye was there with his wife Jamie. Garrett Bauer was there with his lady. I'm there. My man Steve O's there, a couple other people. And we just having a good time till 12. That was Friday night. All right. Now we can get into the good stuff. Saturday. Saturday, your boy, since I was out all night, got up a little bit late. When I got up, your boy shaved my face, got all ready and everything. We go down, we start setting up the venue where it was. Like I said, is at my church. We got a big parking lot. It's a hotel. It was amazing. We got everything set up. My brother is there. He's getting set up for the lemonades. My man Garrett Bauer's there. He's getting his stuff set up for the before the demonstration on the blades and everything. We get our registration desk set up. Everything's set up, and then people start rolling in with the setups. I don't know how many setups we had. Probably like 25, 30 setups that people came with different pieces of equipment: Walker mowers, Toro mowers, Skag mowers, dump trailers, Kubota excavator was there, F250s, F350s, F450s, F150s, um, ramp system on trucks, box truck. People would just dump truck. It was just so many people with so many different cool things, so that you could really be like, all right, if I got in and I just started cutting grass, cool, you could stay like me and just cut grass, do some softscape and things like that. But man, There's an excavator there. My man, how do we what do you do with the excavator? Get to ask the question to the person who owns it, who's running the business. How did this dump trailer save you or make you more money? Right? How did it save you more time? What piece of equipment would you go with? And the two pieces of equipment are right there, and two different owners. You get to hear both opinions. And people are like, hey, let me just tell you so you don't make a mistake. That's wisdom, learning from other people's experiences. Okay. And that's what this was all about. So we got set up, everything got going, and then we start the games. I'm sorry, we didn't start the games yet. So registration happens, everyone comes in, they get a ticket, they get to sign up for the rock paper scissors showdown, the cornhole challenge. The kids get their coloring sheets, whatever, drink ticket. The pizza got there a little bit late, so people were talking and everything. Then the pizza got there, everyone came in. And then what a real cool thing that happened was it's at my church. So my pastor, he travels a lot for to be speaking at different places. He's an awesome dude, him and his wife. Shout out to Pastor Buck, Pastor Amy, and everyone at our church, Grace Life. Because whoever finds God finds life. We find the lost at any cost. That's like the taglines, man. It's so fire. But I had asked him about a month ago. I said, "Hey, Pastor, I'm having an event at the church. I'd love it if you could come and like bless the food before everyone eats." And he was like, "If I am in town, I'll be there." And I was like, "All right." And he was like, "Just let me know. I ain't gonna lie to you. I never texted him. I forgot about it." And so while everything's happening, I'm like, my wife is trying to calm me down because now I'm on a million. I'm trying everywhere, zoom, zoom, zoom. And she's like, um, "Go outside and just I'll take care of this. You just go outside and be around the people." And I was like, "All right, bet." As I go outside, Pastor Buck drives past in the plow truck. So he got the church's plow truck. Him and my homeboy, Jeff, who's the district manager for Kubota, they go by and I'm like, "Yo, I call him PB, Pastor Buck. I'm like, "Yo, what up, PB?" He's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "Hey, we about to have lunch right now. Would you mind coming in blessing the food?" He was like, "I got you." So he goes, parks the truck, comes in, he blessed the food. Then, I talk to all the people, give them a little speech, tell them what's going on, the schedule of events, and how proud I am, and to thank everyone for coming, believing in the event, which in turn hopefully this will help them believe in themselves even more than they already do, and all of the cool things that you got to do when you give a little speech, right? You're trying to amp the people up to have a good time. So we did all of that, and we go outside. My man Gary Bauer gives a fire presentation on the science of blade sharpening, right? So I have a Magnamatic now. After the event, he brought my Magnamatic to me. I used mine as the demo, and then we went up and set it up at my shop. But we went over the science of how to get your blade sharp, what parts of the blade actually cuts the grass, why it's important to have your blades at a 90 or at a 30-degree angle, and then live demonstration on how to use the Magnamatic. And then you got to come up if you wanted to. I brought a whole bunch of blades that I've been sharpening wrong, and if you wanted to, you got to sharpen blades right there on the spot and use it. And the cool thing about the Magnamatic is the setup that I have could be considered expensive. It's about 2,600 bucks, but they meet you where you're at. You could just buy the blade sharpener itself for whatever the price is of that. Then you could buy the tower separately or at a later date, and the blade sharp or balancer and all of that. So it's really cool that they got to see not even a finished product. I got a catcher on the side and a light and the tower, and that's it. So you get what you need at the time, and then you build it up over time. But I personally, I like to only buy once. Now, I've had angle grinder. I went from an angle grinder to the RBG 712, and now from the RBG 712 to this Magnamatic. And I'm already showing Talon and Tommy and Piper, since obviously if it's at my shop, they can all use it as well. But just how much faster we can get through those things. So he went over all of the cool stuff, scientific stuff about blades, the importance of balancing them, how to sharpen them properly, the different degrees and the different use cases for maybe having a 40-degree angle on your blade versus the 30-degree angle if you're cutting grass. And all of that stuff is really cool to get to learn from the person who actually created the thing and knows it best, right? And it's no better thing in this world than information, getting some good information that's going to help you go out there and perform your service at its maximum capability. We cut grass. You need to be cutting grass the best way possible, and having sharp blades is paramount, right? And so I learned some new stuff about that. Then we had my man Rick did a short presentation on the importance of insurance and being able to sign up for insurance to help with employee retention and having an actual benefit to working for your company, no matter how small you are, even if you only have one employee. This is something that you could offer. Also, Garrett is doing a special. I think you put "Win in Life" or something like that, or if you mention the meetup, you get a free tower if you were to buy the Magnematic. So then that would save you whatever the cost of the tower is. I don't know how much that is off the top of my head, but there that is. But yeah, so we did that, and then after the presentation, we got started with the games. We had a cornhole challenge, and then we ended the games with the rock paper scissors showdown. And so after that, I did some walking around. Got some people had to leave early and things like that. So after we got through the games, I went around and did. I think I got like 6 or 7 setup tours done. One is a box truck, one is a Ford F-150 with a ramp system on it that my man created. That's actually the first video that's going to come out. My man Gregory James from Canada. We're going to talk about that when we get the cool people and that I got to spend time with or meet for the first time there. But yeah, so we got people who are running just push mowers. We got a guy who has a walker mower and a sit down scag mower. I'm gonna be doing a shop tour with this young dude named Tom, probably this week, who's 19, 18 or 19 years old. And he just bought 2 brand new Toro mowers. He got the multi-force with the 34 and a half Kawasaki engine. So I'm excited to go see that one in person with someone who actually owns it. So yeah, so we got some cool things coming here in the future, but we played those games, whatever. Then I went and did that. So now before we get out of here, and if you have any yeah, liability insurance, workers comps are a must for sure. Harold Wilson Jr., who will be on the show here this Wednesday on Winning Life Wednesday. Harold Wilson Jr. will be our guest. But our game winners were, it was really cool. We did the cornhole challenge. Let me explain the cornhole challenge. Down at Equip Expo, we had 379 people attend the Winning Life meetup at Equip Expo last year. And down there at the historic Vernon Lanes, which we will be making tickets for that available sometime in May or June. And you better get them tickets because that's going to be exclusive. We're capping it at 450, 379 were there last year. I know that the people that were there last year could be ready to scoop up them tickets. So if you want to be there in October, you better get them tickets when they become available ASAP. All right. But down there at that, we do the strike challenge. Now, this isn't at a bowling alley. And so, how are we going to throw strikes if we don't have a bowling alley? So, I decided to come up with a different game and we called it the Cornhole Challenge. Now, this meetup isn't as big, so we don't need 8 lanes. We only needed 4 cornhole boards. What I did was I set the cornhole boards up all the same distance, and then you got a card. You either got a red card to play the games, you get a red card or a blue card. They go to the 2 games. You write your name on it, you turn your card in, then we call your name. Whoever's card is still available at the end, they are the winner. Obviously, they've moved on, and then we know who our winner is. So we have the cornhole challenge. On the strike challenge, everyone rolls the ball at the same time. Whoever gets a strike moves on. If nobody gets a strike, whoever knocks down the most pins in that round, they move on. We couldn't do that. So we do the cornhole challenge and we line up 4 cornhole boards. If you're not familiar with cornhole, it's where you toss the beanbag on the board that has a hole in it. All right, games go to 21, I think. So my man Rick with Big Buckeye, he brought the cornhole boards for me. I went and bought some a set. My homeboy Tommy gave me a set, but Rick came with his already, and we didn't have to put anything together, open up any boxes or anything. And he brought a whole bunch of bags, even though we only needed 4. So we used his, we set them up 4, and then you had to be behind me when you throw it. So we started off literally 1 foot away from the board. And so I'm standing there, and we had, I think, 2 people get eliminated in the first round. And then after that, I would back up a step. Now it's at the one end of a parking spot, and then the final throw goes to the line that separates the 2 parking spots, if that makes sense. So the furthest you're going to throw it is probably 10 feet. We ain't doing a 21 feet or anything, but you have to make it in the hole, just like the strike challenge. You got to get a strike. But if in this case, if nobody made it, we went 3 rounds because it's not as easy as you think, even from 5 feet away, to put that thing in the hole every time. So we had a couple rounds where everyone missed and then you go again. But if we went for that particular round, if we had 3 throws and nobody make it, then they all got eliminated, sort of like Squid Games, if that makes sense. So we do that, and long story short, we get to the end. There are 3, I think there was 3 people left in the end. Big Buckeye was one of them. He blasted his, I think on the second throw. He made it, the other 2 missed, and Big Buckeye was our big winner. He went home with a brand new Echo PB 9010 backpack blower. And the cool thing about him winning is, back when I did the first Winning Life meetup at Equip Expo, Rick was already my friend. Like he was more of a friend than just someone I knew from social media. Like, we went to church together. I visited his house. We've seen his wife has met mine. Like, we're actually friends. And so he had hit me up and he said, "Hey man, I love what you do." This was in 2023. "I love what you do, and I just want to support in some way. Can I give you a blower and you can use it for however you want to use it?" Now, like I said, I've been financing the meetups out of my own pocket for the most part. And that first year, I financed everything out of my own pocket, which is cool. So Rick was like, "Can I give you a backpack blower?" And I was like, "Sure." So he did, and I gave a little announcement. And after that, a whole bunch of people asked me. I had to be like, "No, we can't. We can't just keep having people. I don't want to do that." So anyway, it was cool because he gave that back. It was the same. It was a 9010 then, and then he came to the thing and he won. So he actually got his blower back. So that just goes to show you, when you are generous, man, it comes right back to you. And that is dope that Rick was actually able to win that. And then later on, right after that, we go to the thing that is super fun. And just so you know, if any of my events, everyone's eligible. So if you have a kid, I don't care if it's a 7-year-old, as long as they know how to play the game, they're eligible to play the game. So the rock, paper, scissors tournament, we had kids in the game too. My man Rory, he was dope. That's my man Marty McCabe's son from We Rise Lawn Care, or Lawn and Landscape. I can't remember, but it's We Rise. I know that. But Rory was there. He was in it. Cedric's little girls was there. My nieces and nephews and my daughters were in it. My nephews was in it. And we just play rock, paper, scissors. So here's how that works. You go rock, paper, scissors. It is single elimination till we get to the final 4. When you get to the final 4, it is best 2 out of 3. And when you get to the championship, it's best out of 7. So best 4 out of 7. And so we go through, everyone's getting knocked out. People are moving on. It's so much fun, like the excitement, because it's very, very fast. We call a name, you come up, rock, paper, scissors, boom. This person's out or this person moves on. And it's just always fun and it's always exciting. And then when we get to the championship, the thing about the this spring meetup is like, I think every year except for 1 year, it went set to a 7 game series. So like we get to the championship, and it's my man Oz Lawn Care versus Miss Becky Mackay. Hers Mackay. So she just Mac with a K A with a AY on the end, which was cool. But she had found out about the meetup because of my homeboy John Pajak. She had a consultation with him. He told her about it. She didn't live far from me, and so she came to the meetup. She met me. She's like, "Hey, do you know who's?" I was like, "Who's the meetup?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's my meetup. You know, I'm the guy who put it all together." Whatever. She's like, "Oh, this is so awesome," and we're talking, and I'm like, "Make sure you sign up for the games, whatever." She was like, "I will, but I never win those type of things." And so she's in a rock paper scissors tournament. She's just taking people out left and right. She gets to the championship. My man Oz. It goes one, then two, then two, then three, and then three. And then we're in game 7, and it's now Oz versus Miss Becky, and Oz ended up coming out on top. So my man Osmond Cargbro, Bo, I hope I said that right, Oz. He owns Oz Lawn Care over here in Pittsburgh, and he won a Toro Vortex double recycler, the black mower. He won that. He won an Echo PB 2520 blower, and he also won the Echo SRM 225 trimmer. But the cool thing about it was, is Miss Becky, she was married. She lost her husband to cancer, I believe it was, and then she had a kid who was running the business, and now Miss Becky is running the business. She was like, I never win anything, and she made it all the way to the championship. Now I don't know if Miss Becky told Oz any of that, but he won the championship and just gave her the handheld blower, and so they got a cool picture together. They have a story to tell. One of life's greatest experiences is being part of someone else's testimony. And I know that uh, both Oz will be a part of Miss Becky's testimony as well as Miss Becky being a part of Oz's testimony. And they are a part of our winning life testimonies, man. So that was dope to see. And that, again, relationships, community, and networking. Oz won that game fair and square. He didn't have to do that, but he did do that. Why? Because we're in the moment, and he wanted to see her win, even though he just won. And that is dope. That's what's so fire about our community, man. And I'm not just talking about our winning life community, I mean our green industry communities. There's a whole lot of them going on out here. Different shows that have a different community, different people who have different events that have their own small communities, but overall, we're all playing in the same league. And seeing other people do well is something that I know entrepreneurs, the ones who have good hearts, good souls, minds of increase and abundance, they want to see other people win, and they want to be a part of helping those people win. And it was just dope to me that Oz, that he did that, man. So shout out to my man Oz, shout out to Miss Becky, shout out to Rick with Big Buckeye for their wins. And now, after that, after the show was over, the next day, I invite people to come to. I'm sorry, Saturday. So then Saturday night, that was Saturday afternoon. I left there probably around 6. Me and my man Garrett Bauer, we went up to my shop. He set up the new Magnamatic. I'll show you a picture of that on my Instagram probably tomorrow. And I'm gonna do a shop tour. So if you're watching on YouTube, be looking out for the shop tour that's coming from the compound. If you want to see how I got the Magnamatic set up at my shop and everything. But me and Garrett and his lady, we went up there to the compound, got that set up, and then from 7:30 to probably 10 o'clock, we went to this place called Zone 28. Now, Zone 28 is like a cross between Dave and Buster's and a bowling alley. So it has, I don't know, 20 bowling lanes or 24 bowling lanes, and then there's like a Dave and Buster's area with like basketball hoops and the light games and shooting games and claw machines, and there's laser tag there. It's just a dope place. It's a great place for parties. There's an outdoor area. So we went there. We went bowling. The food was absolutely fire. I mean, it was so fire We went there again. My daughter had a banquet on Sunday. We went back there and got the chicken sandwich that I got the night before. My wife and I both went and we got that same chicken sandwich. We got two of them. Whew, it was fire. So we went to Zone 28. It was me, my wife, my oldest daughter, Cedric, his two daughters, Garrett and his lady, Spence Crisco and his wife, Brandy, and uh, Big Buckeye and Jamie, and then these two young dudes named Tom and Andrew, and we all went bowling down there. Some other people were supposed to come, they fell asleep or whatever, but it was nice, small, and we really got to talk then because there was only like 12 of us or whatever, 10, I don't know, but that was dope too. When we were there kicking it, bowling, eating more good food. They had buffalo chicken dip and cheese dip and spinach artichoke dip, sandwiches, hoagies, pizzas. It was fire. And then, people was having them good libations. But it was just a great time hanging out and doing that on Saturday night. And then Sunday morning we went to the 8:30 service, which was dope. Um, like I said, my pastor, also his son, who has a small landscaping company too, were at the meetup. And so the next day we get there. My wife is a Sunday school teacher. So she goes every Sunday and she helps to set up whether she's teaching that weekend or not. She goes to set up in the morning, and then we normally go to the 10 a.m. service. But Spence Crisco and Big Buckeye both stay. Big Buckeye lives about an hour from me, but Spence lives in North Carolina. So he had probably a 7 to 9 hour drive to get home, I think. He can correct me if I'm wrong. But so we decided we'll go to the 8:30 service so that they could get on the road early. Now I did want to have a go home or brunch like I do down at Equip Expo, but we couldn't because my daughter had two banquets. My oldest daughter had two banquets to go. She had a meet and greet for track, and she had a basketball banquet where she was a letterman in her freshman year. So she earned her letter to go in her letterman jacket. Now we got to buy a letterman jacket, but she earned that, and that was dope. It was at Zone 28 again, and then right after that, she had to go to this place called All American, which is like a sports complex for her track meet and greet, while my 6-year old had to go to a doggone uh, a birthday party, something Demon Hunters. I don't know whatever that movie is for the little kids. So she goes to that birthday party. I took my behind over to my man Bill's house because I had the trailer hitch seized inside the receiver. So he works on metal and everything like that. Went over there, hung out with him. We got that thing cut out, so we're ready to pull a trailer now. And that was basically my Sunday, man. That was basically my weekend. Now I want to talk quickly about some people that I got to spend a lot of time with and shout them out, because how I always talk about this, the live events, I've said it earlier in this show, it's the extra time that you get to spend with people other than the actual event. It's if there's other events. At Equip Expo, people are going to dinners and hanging out, going to events, going to the museum, and all these different things down in Louisville. When I go up to LAL, there's the event that my man Fullerton has, but then people are going to this Black Rock place. I don't really like it. Actually, I loved it when I went there last year because we went with 10 people and I got my steak cooked and it was fire. But it's that stuff. It's the meet and greet the night before. And then whatever happens in between Saturday night and Sunday morning when he does his other stuff, and his classes and everything. It's all of that. And so these people that stick out to me, or they either came a long distance, or I just got to spend a lot of time with them, and they're no longer just an Instagram icon. I know who they are because I ain't in this just to have a bunch of followers. I want to know people, and I want people to know me. And when you're around somebody a lot, you get to know them as a person. It ain't just a quick thing. And then when you know someone as a person, walls come down, and then you're able to actually talk and then get somewhere. by learning something because you're humble enough to tell your story to somebody else. Pull the curtains down so you can win in your life. And that's what this is. So the first person who just sticks out, and it's hard for him not to stick out. I hope he's still in here. He was the first person to comment, and that is my man Gregory James, who came to the event from Canada. He brought me a shirt. I got this shirt on here right now. Got this Canadian thing on, says 62 something down or another down there. But he brought me a t-shirt to the event, and he had one of the dopest setups that I seen in person, where he had an F-150. He said the ramp rack system was, he had wanted to order it, but it was going to take too long to get there. And since he's in Canada and we're dealing with tariffs and things like that when it comes to governments and politics and stuff, it was going to be a hassle for him to go through all of that. So he said, I can build a house, bruh. Like, I can do everything from foundation to roof to all the finishing. And so he was very handy. And so what he did was is he bought the pieces that he needed and he just created his own. And he has it all set up with bolts and everything. So it's easy to put on and take off. And I have a video literally right now sitting on my editor. It's done. I have to put couple more finishing touches on it, and then that video will be coming to you soon. He got an F-150 with basically a ramp rack system that he made himself and custom put things on so that it could be efficient for him. And I can't wait for you to be able to see it. He got dope lights on it. The truck's just fire. He owns Lamar Lawn Care, and his name is Gregory James. I said, is Lamar like your name, like your last name? Before he told me his last name was James. He said, no, Lamar is his son's name. And when I say you got to name your business after something you care about, especially if you're like me, I personally don't plan on building a business to be able to sell it to someone else. This is what I like to do. I'm going to continue to do it, and I'm going to just film and make content while I do what I love to do, because I know a lot of people feel how I feel. Right, and Gregory is one of them. He's doing like 35, 40 lawns. He's also doing pressure washing as well, and he cleans off big equipment. He talks about all of that cool stuff in this video. It's gonna be about 9 minutes long, so I encourage you to follow the channel, subscribe to the channel, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We're gonna be gearing our content towards lawn care business owners from here on out. Um, the lawn care setup showcase is what we're going back to. No more of this service business showcase stuff. I'm a lawn care guy, and that's who I'm talking to. Lawn care people. Now, if people own service businesses other than lawn care stuff, or they're doing lawn care and other stuff, that's who we want to be around. I want to learn how to do other things. That's why I wanted to make it broad for everybody. But it's the lawn care setup showcase moving forward. That wasn't the announcement, but um, that's what the setup's gonna be. But my man Gregory James from Lamar Lawn Care, he came all the way from Canada, man. I mean, we're international meetup now. I was gonna say we are a coast to coast national meetup because the next person I was gonna mention is my man Augustine from Central Washington Landscaping, I think is the name of his business, but he's dope. Augustine, I'm gonna start calling him Augie. I hope that won't offend you, my man Augustine. We'll call Augustine until he okays me to use a nickname. But he flew across country, and I was gonna say we're a national. We are a national meetup now. We got people coming from both coasts. All right, from the south and the north and both coasts. We are in that. And then I met my man Gregory, and I said, "Oh, I have to change that up. International meetup, baby. We got people coming from other countries. Yeah, let's go." So shout out to my man Gregory and shout out to my man Augustine. He's part of Naylor's group, and he came over from the state of Washington. And I've had other conversations with Augustine, but he's a cool dude. And I was happy that he got there. My man Alan Lemire, my man Alan is a funny dude, bro. He also just broke his arm, and I heard all about this. He's in a group chat with me actually, but to get to see him in person, I hadn't seen him since LAL. and he came too from Boston. I got to hang out with him. He broke his arm 3 weeks ago, and I'm like, "Should you be in a sling?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "This, but you ain't in one." He's like, "No." And I was like, "Does it hurt?" He was like, "It hurts like hell." I said, "Boy, you's an idiot. Boy, you crazy. I can't believe what you doing out here." But he's so funny. He's making jokes about it the whole time. So he's out here with a broke damn arm. He's showing you the x-rays with all these pins in it. Happened in the middle of the blizzard, which was crazy. They just got 6 feet of snow or 4 feet of snow or something up there a couple weeks ago before he came down here. And he's still down here in Pittsburgh having a good time and cracking jokes, my man Alan Lemire. Marty McCabe, let me tell you something right now. Marty McCabe, he's from We Rise Lawn Care, and he's dope. Marty came from Maryland. Now, last year, Marty came up. He brought a 24-foot trailer from Maryland, and he had some big boy equipment on there, like these Avant machines and stuff like that. I said, "You, where'd you come from?" It's like, I don't think it was the first time I met him in person, but I couldn't believe he was there. So he pulls in last year with the big equipment. I was like, "Yo, well, this is crazy, bro. You brought a I can't believe you came up here with this trailer, and it rained at the beginning of the day that day." So like the attendance was down a little bit because of the rain. Still had a great turnout, but because of that rain, a lot of people didn't show up. So, but Marty did, and that's what made him stick out to me. He came there, and his son is the coolest dude you'll ever see. I mean, Marty's son, he had a cowboy hat on. Little man had a cowboy hat on, like a flannel shirt, blue jeans, cowboy boots on. He was walking like, you better not. Like, I mean, like he could just ride any bull at a rodeo. Like he could go out and get you a deer, or you fix your tractor, or throw a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. He looked like I can beat you in anything that we play. That's how he walked. I wish I could show you. You just had to beat her. This is why you got to beat her. You got to see stuff like this. Rory came in third in the kids coloring contest. We do that too, by the way. We love the kids. This is about changing family trees, and relationships help you do that because you see examples of others who have done it, and then you see your little dudes like Rory, who's watching his dad go out here and kill it and do it in the right way, always up and to the right, just like his logo. We rise is exactly what we're trying to do at the Winning Life Meetup, the Winning Life family, the Winning Life Facebook group, the Winning Life team meetings. This is what we're trying to do, and getting to see the little kids like Rory walking with that confidence because he has a father walking in the same confidence, who has a father who gives us all confidence. It is fire. My man Marty McCabe came, and he paid some tithes to the church to support the church because we were having the event there. He came with a donation to donate to my church, man. So listen, he talked to my pet like, Marty's dope. That's all I'm gonna say. He's dope. This year he came with a different setup. He had a box trailer setup. I'm personally thinking about switching to the box trailer setup. I got to see it in person at the meetup. He's running Crest trimmers and blowers, has a Crest Cyberlight tank in his box trailer and an inverter. We got a YouTube video coming out where we're going to show you this stuff. But it was cool to see someone actually using Crest because I'm currently waiting for a Crest shipment right now because I'm switching to Crest battery equipment too. And so I got to see how he had his stuff set up. It was dope. I got to see the ramp system. I got to see the website of the ramp. He told me how he did it. He put it on himself. Save money so you don't have to pay a fabricator. I got to see that at this event. This is why it's important to have people come there. Now, who knows what you're going to see next year? Who knows what these people are gonna do next year? But Marty came, like I said, my man Rory won or came in third in our coloring contest. My my nephew Christian, he's older. I can't believe he did the coloring contest, but he ended up coming in second. And then my niece, her name is Messiah, and I'm not sure how they picked the winners. There was no bias here or nothing like that. Their pictures were dope. My niece Messiah, she came out and won the championship on the kids coloring contest. But yeah, that was my man Marty McCabe and his son Rory. Next, my man Garrett Bauer, the owner of Magnamatic, he came through. I put him on the spot. I was like, listen, he found out that he was doing a presentation on how to sharpen blades properly and the science behind it whenever I was making the announcements during the food. So he found this out about 30 minutes before he had to do it. And then we had this whole group around him, and he's telling them all about the science behind how you sharpen blades correctly. Again, the Magnamatic is like the Bentley or the Rolls Royce of sharpening blades, right? And you got to do what's right for you. But learning the science behind how to sharpen a blade, how to inspect the blade, how to know, if the blade's bent or not, what degree you should be mowing at for regular grass versus brush cutting, and how to sharpen the blade for that reason. He gave away a whole bunch of little blade things so you can measure your angle. So again, whether you're using the just a angle grinder with a pad with the 40 grit or 60 grit pad on it, whether you're using an All American blade sharpener, whether you're using the RBG or that knockoff version Vivro or whatever it is, or whether you got the Bentley like I got now with the Magnamatic, you still need to know what you're looking for when you're sharpening the blades. Magnamatic's gonna do it the fastest. So if you're sharpening a whole lot of blades, it's gonna be your best bet. If you plan on growing your business from 20 yards and now you've grown it to 40 yards, you gotta sharpen your blades every 5 hours. And sometimes that means you gonna have to change your blades every day. Sometimes you might have to change your blades halfway through the day. And to be able to have those blades be sharp as hell, I mean sharp. Magnamatic's gonna get it done the fastest. Everything can get it done, but you're gonna save yourself more time with that. So shout out to Garrett, and all of the cool things he does. He's a if I have to go into the zombie apocalypse, I'm gonna find my way to Wisconsin, and I need to get to his farm because he got all types of cool things, guns. He done made a 6 foot bow. I'm only 5'8". He made a bow and arrow where the bow is taller than me. Who knows how long the arrow makes me think of like David and Goliath. I seen people slinging those slings on like TikTok and Instagram, and when you hear the rock whiz past the camera, or they're trying to hit a shield, or they're trying to hit a can or a bottle, the dude said he said basically he said David shot Goliath with a gun because that's how it looks. I mean, that stuff comes so fast. So I imagine a bow that is 6 feet long, and he said I can't remember. He said some sort of pressure that when you shoot bows, I don't know. I'm not a hunter. If you get shot with a longbow, that oh my god, I can't. I remember my wife for my 35th birthday. She took me to shoot a handgun. I never shot a handgun before, so we go to this firing range. It's 35th birthday. The dude's like, "What kind of gun you want to shoot?" I was like, a 9 millimeter. That's all I knew. I didn't, I didn't know anything. He said, "Do you want this caliber or 45?" The caliber is like a lower caliber or 45. I said, "What do you recommend?" And he said, "I mean, I'll go with the 45." I said, "Give me the 45 then." So he gave it to me. We go into the thing. I look at my wife. I'm holding it like I seen in the movies, like an idiot. Just dumb. But I also like the game Time Crisis. And let me know down in the comments if you know about Time Crisis. I like Time Crisis. So I'm holding the pistol like how seen cops do it on TV shows. And I shoot the gun. Boom! It went off. I swear, I was like, oh, I sat it down so fast. I turned and I looked at it. I was like, oh my god, this is what it feels like to shoot a gun. I would never want to get shot by a bullet. My goodness gracious, you would have. I'm gonna change the subject. I don't want to mess up the algorithm to get us. But I'm telling you, man, I don't want to get shot with no longbow, get hit with one of them slings, or by a weapon like that. So let me get off of that. My man Tom Griffin with Griffin Lawn Care. He's a young dude. He came up to me. He was like, "Yo, I've been watching your videos." He's sending them to his friend Andrew. Shout out to his homeboy Andrew too, who's like a pro bowler. This boy came to the zone 28. He had his own ball and his own shoes, and he had a thumb thing. You could pull the little thing out so he could transfer it to a different ball if you wanted to use it. He was down there throwing strikes. He bowled like a 188 on the first game with no warm up. I said, "Bro, I'm used to winning." But Eric changed that, and now this young dude and Rick with Big Buckeye. Rick with Big Buckeye was bowling left-handed. He's so good at bowling, he was bowling left-handed and bowled like a 180. Said his average is like 240 or something like that. I'm like, come on, man. Big Buckeye's tripping. So is my man Andrew. But they was dope. We got to hang out with them. But Andrew, he came up to me, is like, "Yo, I've been watching your channel for a minute. I literally went and bought these two mowers at Penn Hills Rental, the Toro Grandstand Multi Force 34 and the regular Toro Grandstand from Penn Hills Rental because he seen my videos." And then we went through and I told him how I do, stress-free lawn care. I told him how to get paid first and all these, the things that I'm doing now to try and help him out. Again, when you go to other places, that's when you get real information. If you ain't just sitting at a desk taking notes, you taking notes in here or on your phone in the moment, and people are giving you the exact process that they use. That is dope. So I'm not saying that I'm some guru or I know everything, but how I've been doing things has been working for me. And I'm not saying that it's going to be exactly the same for you, but if you get to hear it, right? You get to hear it, you get to see it. In person, I went through my jobber thing and I showed them how we do the estimates, how I get paid for a deposit. I have customers residentially that I've never met before, and I showed them all of that at that thing. And we're going to be doing a shop tour here at some point, probably towards the end of the week. So be on the lookout for my man Tom and the shop tour that we're gonna do, and hopefully Andrew will be in there in that video as well. And then Spence and Brandy Crisco. Spence is one of my closest friends now in the lawn care game. We are talking on a daily basis. He got a brand new truck wrap that he showed off at the meetup, but and his wife Brandy, they came up and they hung out Friday, Saturday, went to church Sunday. We just got to keep continuing that relationship that has been built. That started because of social media. It started because of social media. That's why I'm a big advocate for people starting a social media, even if you don't want to post videos and things like that. Post your work, have some sort of brand out there so that you could use that for your customers, but also so that people will respond to you. If you're just a no picture icon, no posts, uh, no information on your thing, and you follow somebody and you DM them, I'm probably not responding because it looks like a bot to me, right? If your brand, whatever. So post some stuff, create a thing, and then next thing you know, you're having daily correspondence with somebody. And I get just as much information from Spence as he gets from me, and I get just as much motivation from him as he may get from me. And we get to do that now in person for basically 2.5 days. And relationship to have a relationship with his wife, and my wife has a relationship with his wife and him, and it's just cool. So shout out to my man Spence Crisco. Cedric, it goes without saying, my man Cedric still cuts the best. He was there with his beautiful daughters, Cooper and Charlie, and we went hung out with him Friday night, Saturday night, Saturday afternoon, and it's always a good time hanging out with my Power Moves brother. Steve O, PGH Lawn Care. He's always a big supporter of the things that I try to do for the community. He's always there. He's always encouraging, and he's one of a big person who inspires me because of the stuff that he's been through. Steve-O is a phenomenal dude and a hustler. I'm talking about out here getting after it with cutting edge lawn care here in the Pittsburgh area. And he is PGH Lawn Care on on Instagram. Next, we got my man David Penn. He started his business 3 years ago, and he is somebody who is super active, always hitting me up on Instagram and the DMs. He's always on the show, watching the show. He makes sure to let me know. I've been watching every show for the last 3 years, and I wanted to make sure that I shout him out because he came all the way from Indiana, and he brought three of his homeboys as well. And I got to meet NSB Lawn Care, and there was one other one, but shout out to those guys for coming through all the way to the event. Sean Lee Jones with G6 Landscaping. G6 No Gas is his Instagram tag, and he came through, and I didn't know that he took pictures and stuff. He came through with like a photography camera. I had my brother's father-in-law, he was there taking pictures for us as well. But then I seen this other guy with this long camera. He's taking all these pictures, and then I get home and I get an email, and it's all the pictures that my man Sean was taking. And he's also going to be a guest on Winning Life Wednesday. He said he got a lot to tell us and a lot to tell me, so I'm excited to hear his story. He's doing all electric equipment, and I think he's from the other side of Pennsylvania, but we'll confirm all of that when he comes on the show on the first show of April. And so that was dope to see him, meet him in person, meet David Penn in person for the first time. And then, like I said earlier, there was a lot of fun things we did: meet and greets, dinner, and bowling on Thursday night, Friday night afternoon shop tour, and hanging out Friday night, meet and greet at Permani Brothers. The Saturday fun that we had during the meetup, and then afterwards at Zone 28, and then that brings me to before I'm gonna have a little thing where I read some of these comments. You guys have been commenting a lot over here, and I appreciate it. But we're gonna make an announcement right after these. I get to these right before we get to these comments, but it was just a dope experience. I hope that uh my excitement has let you know how much fun I had. Now, this is my experience. If you watched the show, comment down below, and you were at the meetup. Comment down below. Let people know what your experiences were and your genuine experience, man. Let me know how we can do things better for you. But it was dope, and I will say this is part of the announcement. I said it earlier. It will be the lawn care setup showcase. I don't Win a Life Meetup lawn care setup showcase. I'm a lawn care guy again. That's who I'm serving. That's my target audience is the people in the lawn care game, specifically people who are thinking about getting started, or very early on in their business. Um, we are out here winning in life together, and we're on a journey, and that's always up and to the right. Shout out to my man, We Rise. But it's the lawn care setup showcase moving forward, and I left feeling so inspired. Starting on Thursday night and hanging out with those guys, and then bowling afterwards, and then Friday afternoon hanging out with those guys again was amazing, and then Friday night meet and greet was phenomenal, and then Saturday morning getting set up, and uh that was dope, and then getting to meet the people, and then my pastor being there, and so many people coming up to me giving me great positive feedback. We had people playing games and winning, people sharing information with each other so that they can continue the relationship when they're not here. Like my man Rick Schaefer, who's up in Wisconsin, couldn't make the event, but Spence Crisco was here. So I know Spence and Rick, they talk all the time, and they met at an event just like this, right? And so I'm using him as an example, but I know that type of stuff is going on with other people that were there. We had our game winners, Oz winning the big rock paper scissors showdown, Big Buckeye winning the doggone backpack blower that he gave, that he donated. So things are coming back around to the people who are being generous. Oz is a generous dude. He been helping Steve O do different jobs with a multi-force that he wasn't really using, but he was letting him use it, and now it circles all the way back around to he has the good fortune of using his rock paper scissors skill to win, and then he turns around and gives a prize to the runner-up, Miss Becky. relationships, being part of someone else's testimony is absolutely phenomenal. So while I'm out there, I'm sitting there and I'm just standing back, kind of taking it all in, looking at what's going on, seeing the people talk to one another, seeing the smiles go happen, seeing the lemonades be made and the people drinking the lemonades and doing cheers and watching other people trap people's lawnmowers or seeing their trailer set up or their truck set up or whatever the case may be. So many cool things were happening. I just felt so inspired. I guess uh, the best thing I could say about it is, I don't know, it almost felt heavenly to me. And it was at a church, no less. So that was amazing. But what it did do was Saturday night when we went to Zone 28, it was super dope. It was fun. But while I was there the next day for my daughter's event, there was a VIP suite that was over there. And when I seen it, I was like, what is that? And well, where are we supposed to go for this basketball banquet? So we're going to the VIP suite. I walk in the VIP suite. Why is there 8 bowling lanes? These big TVs in there, a whole bunch of tables set up, an outdoor bar area that had cornhole and bocce ball and a gigantic TV with speakers out there, an outdoor bar area. All of these cool things. I walk in there, I'm like, oh my God, this is insane. People were like, yo, this is amazing. This parking lot's big. The restaurant area we were eating in is dope. All of this stuff is happening. What could we do next year? We had it at my church, which owns a hotel called Legacy Hotel. It's being currently renovated. We are all about legacy here, creating a legacy, something to leave for your children's children. And it seems fitting that the meetup was so fire this year. It's always been dope, but it was even better this year. It was beautiful weather. It was like 70 degrees. Unbelievable. No rain. People smiling, having a good time at the Legacy Hotel in the parking lot. And then I go the next day and I see this VIP area after we just had this amazing night on Friday night. And I'm thinking to myself, well, we couldn't do the strike challenge because we don't have a bowling alley. There's not really enough time to do all of this stuff. So we got to create the Winning Life weekend. It happened a little organically this year. It just sort of happened. But I promise you, next year we're going to have something totally planned out. So the big announcement is 2027. We got the Winning Life Weekend Conference coming to you soon. It is currently loading. I already have 2 speakers ready to go. I'm working on the third one. And here's how it's going to work. We're going to have a VIP, 100 ticket VIP availability. So be there, be square. We'll figure out what the price is going to be. But we're going to have that strike challenge next year, I assure you. And it's going to have a dope prize package. And 100 people are going to be eligible to get tickets to come to that event, which will be private. Your ticket will get you an opportunity to take part in the strike challenge. For the first time during the spring meetup, we will have a strike challenge. That will also get you free food and free soft drinks for the duration of the Friday night meet and greet. Saturday morning, we're going to have 8 to 12 speakers. We'll have a lunch. And then we will, from 1 to 6, we will have the lawn care setup showcase. We got a hotel, and next year we will have a hotel block with the best hotel rates available, where you can keep all of your equipment there, stay in the hotel where the actual event is going to happen, and where we have church on Sunday. So if you want to go to church, you won't have to do anything. You come there, it's smack dab in the middle of Monroeville, where every restaurant imaginable is there. So we will have speakers from 8 to 12. I will be one of them hosting it, as well as a couple other speakers. to get you amped up and ready to start your 2027 on a winning trajectory. That's going to have you amped up and ready to go out there and make the most money that you've ever made in your doggone life. All right. So we're going to do that Saturday morning, then have the meet and greet. And then, so you can be blessed in your business, you will also be invited to come to church. And then we will have a go home brunch this time. And I will make sure that we don't have any schedule conflicts. But the 2027 Win in Life Weekend Conference, and we will have the Lawn Care Setup Showcase as a part of that deal. And we're not just going to have you doing stuff on the day of. We got stuff planned out for the whole weekend. So you come there Friday night. We're going to have the VIP for the people who take part in the VIP and that strike challenge, 100 people. And Saturday, we got a whole day for you. And then Sunday, we send you home with a blessing so that you can have a blessed and prosperous 2027. So be on the lookout for that. And also be on the lookout for the 2026 Win in Life Meetup at Equip Expo. I will have more information on both events in the coming months, but it's going to be fire, man. It's too many people let me know, hey, we are coming to this every single year. Our attendance increased by about 40% from last year, and I know next year it's going to be absolutely amazing as we go harder when it comes to promoting what we're doing here with this Win in Life movement, this Win in Life way of thinking, and this legacy lifestyle that we're trying to create here. So let me know, what do you think about a 2027 Win in Life Weekend Conference? Is that something that you would be interested? You can let me know at Mack underscore landscaping 412 on IG or at Mack landscaping 412 at gmail.com. That's how you can get in contact with me. But it was an absolutely fire event. I don't think I left anybody out. Again, shout out to all the sponsors and all the people who attended the meetup. I appreciate you. I'm going to step away here for just a second, and then we will go through and read a couple comments from both Instagram and also YouTube and Facebook. So hold on one second. And we are back. I appreciate your patience. But yeah, so that was the event as a whole. Like I said before, man, I hope that everyone who came to the event had a wonderful time. From what I've heard personally, everyone had a fantastic time. I look forward to seeing everyone who was there this year, as well as any new folks that we get next year. And like I said, mark your calendars. In March, we will be doing the 2027 Win in Life Meetup Lawn Care Setup Showcase during the Win in Life Weekend Conference here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But over here, let me go through these comments quickly. Dominic, Win, if you're still in here, I want to let you know we will have my man Gary Bauer from Magnamatic come in to talk to our group so that we could get a private lesson on how to properly sharpen these blades. My man Dominic said, the Magnamatic is worth every penny. Just dropped off my Ballard blade assist at the scrapyard this morning. Yeah, got rid of it. Jeremiah Maker says, we offer vision, dental, cancer, STD, and LTD through Aflac. That's fire. Shout out to you. He said if you want to retain employees, so you should. How many landscaping companies offer benefits? I don't know, man. The majority of landscaping companies are small operations, and so I would like to know how many people do that. But that's something that we're looking into as well as also if you go through a payroll company, a thing that we just learned is like it's not that hard to set up retirement programs. So um, that's those are things that you can do just for yourself to set up a retirement program, so you can pay less money in taxes by having some of that income go to your future instead of Uncle Sam, man. We all need to be learning things like this, and these are things that you get to learn from meetups and stuff like that because people who have bigger businesses they've been in it longer and they've learned things and now they know how to properly do things so that they can save themselves money when it comes to the taxes and everything. There's a whole lot of things that I just didn't know that we're starting to implement now, especially now that my wife is more on board. This is more of her forte, uh, being paying attention to detail when it comes to that type of stuff, or I'll go out and just get the work done and make the money when it comes to that. But let's see here. Canada calls the city of gardens. Let me see this. This is Rocco. I don't know how Rockaballa man. He says I live and work in a city that Canada calls the city of gardens. I am blessed with 35 years in the trade, and most of those years are in a local historic garden. That's fire. Let's see here. What else do we got? All right, that's that. King's Ground on Instagram says, is a stand-on mower worth it? Currently have a sit-down Gravely zero turn, but seeing stand-on mowers are the trend and hype. Look, man, it depends on what your preference is. I've only had stand-on mowers. I won't even consider buying a sit-down mower. For me personally, here where I'm at, and my man Alan was like, "I can't believe how many hills are here," and I was like, "Yeah, we deal with so many hills." And in my experience, my Toro Grandstand thus far, I've had a John Deere, but it was an older one. My Toro Grandstand has been the best on hills, and I can do things on that that I wouldn't even consider doing on on a zero turn, sit down zero turn because I'll be afraid that it will fall over, and that I would tip over. With a stand on, I can just jump off. Also, the visibility. I've only used a sit down zero turn and like working for a whole day one time, and this when I was still renting. I rented a Toro Titan. It had the suspension seat and everything. I rode it for one day. When I got done with that from sitting down, I couldn't see any of the bumps that normally I could be on my stand on and I can bend with my knees and everything, go with the flow of the motion of the ocean, right? But on a sit down mower, even with that suspension seat, it was a Toro Titan. I obviously wasn't the top of the line suspension seat, I don't think, but I couldn't do the hills that I normally did, and because I was very nervous on it, just lack of experience. So there's that. Full disclosure, my lack of experience made me afraid while I was on the on the mower, and I couldn't do what I normally did, and then I couldn't see the divots coming. You couldn't see things. If there was stuff in the yard, I had to get off of it. Whereas on the stand-on mower, like I said, you can ride with the motion of the ocean, and then also you get to you can see things better. You could just jump off and grab, that paper towel, that newspaper, rather than opening up the thing, getting up off of that, and it might seem like nothing, but if you gotta do that 25 times a day rather than just jumping off, cool. But for me personally, I won't even consider a sit down mower, and yeah, so that's my thing for it. What's the highest ticket service you've ever done? I did a $9,000 landscaping job. That's the highest one I've ever done. Let's see what else do we got here. Magnamatic said the lemonade was great. Coconut was unique and tasty. So shout out to the lemon lineup. CR Long said we weren't able to make it. We're dealing with 28 inches of snow that took us till the end of the week to get cleared 100%. Man, hey, 28 inches of snow. I ain't gonna lie to you, bruh. I'd rather you get that money. You would have spent some money to get here driving. Instead, you got to make a whole lot of money with a 28-inch snowstorm. So shout out to you. I'm happy that you did that. See, Magnamatic said it was a great event. Big Buckeye, how are you doing, bro? I'm reading the wrong stuff. All right, so here we go. We got my man Jeremiah Maker. He's a channel member. He just left a super chat. He says, "We're not big, Mac. We're small local family. Just knew how hard it was to keep employees, so we sold them the incentive early on those benefits." That's fire, and that again, that's something that I didn't know. So shout out to Jeremiah, Jeremiah Kurt 9470. He is a channel member, and he just left a super chat of $5. So we appreciate that, brother. But Jeremiah, that's fire, especially being a small local company because you're someone who's an example of what I just said. Again, we need to be able to stand out when it comes to employees, especially if you get a good one. And good employees who value themselves, maybe they don't want to own a business, but they just want to work for somewhere that has some stability. And these are things that I didn't know being a myself with one employee, right? But there's who would I rather invest into a retirement thing for Captain Jack and also myself and other employees that I may have in the future over taking that money that we will be putting in that and just giving it to the government so they could go waste it on whatever they want to. I would rather give it to Captain Jack or myself so that we can have something for our future to build on. And maybe you're a small company, you don't even know that that's a possibility for you. I personally didn't, right? I didn't know about you could also make a HSA, a home savings account or health savings account and put money into that too. So even if you get Aflac and your employer is also doing stuff, then you have something where if something does happen, they can go and maybe they don't have to pay a copay, or maybe they can just get a procedure done that they needed to do because they've been building it up for a few years. These are things that we need to be thinking about whether you have a small company wanting to grow or whether you just have a small company and you want to be, where you are like I am, which is my thing. So that's it. I appreciate the comment and I appreciate the super chat, Jeremiah. Thank you very much, brother, for supporting the channel. But let me get to the last shot. We've been at it now for almost 2 hours, but I knew it was going to be a long show. This is a special moment. Every time I'm able to do a live event, it is always very, very nerve wracking leading up to the event, and this one was no exception with having such a busy schedule between meeting people, doing meet and greets, dinners, event, church, all of that cool stuff. And then right after that happened, you're just thinking, how can I make it better? How can I make it bigger? How can I serve the audience better who comes to how can I make the experience for the people who come to the event better? Because this will be the last shot. Money is one thing, but life is about experiences. Sometimes an experience can be something that leads you to making more money. Now, I don't want everything to always be about money, man. My wife said one time, I don't care nothing about money. I care more about experiences. So we want to travel. Even before we even was had our finances in the way that we could travel, we was traveling because it was more about the experience. And I'm not telling you to go into debt so you could go on a vacation, but sometimes when you want to be a part of someone else's testimony, life's greatest experience, according to Jim Rohn, you might have to go on that trip instead of being worried about some money because life is about an experience, and one experience could change your life forever. One conversation, could change your life forever. One relationship can change your life forever. One opportunity can change your life forever. And I want to go have those experiences so that I can get those opportunities. And I will encourage you to do it too. Life is about experiences. So while you're out there this week, this month, this year, this season, find experiences, man. Find relationships. Take opportunities. Take professional risks. These opportunities, these experiences, and these relationships might just be the thing that takes you to your promised land one step faster than you would have got there had you not had that experience. So I'll leave you with that. As always, I love you. I appreciate you. I wish you nothing but success. And remember, the Creator created you to be creative. So get out there and create whatever you want in your life because you deserve it. I'm out. Peace.